Hey guys, Adam here, Payne Family Farms. Hey look, we started building a project. It's a little mobile livestock shade structure that we built for our cattle. We've got a lot of areas in our pastures that don't have shade yet. We'll be planting some trees in the years to come, but that's a long time before trees are big enough to turn into shade. So we wanted to build something so the cattle could get under shade on hot days like today. So we started this video back in February. You'll see as the video goes on, we'll skip from summer to winter, is because I started this project back in February, lost a bunch of the videos, a lot of them got deleted, all because I really don't know how to work a cell phone or a computer. But we wanted to finish the structure, the video up now, and show you guys what it's all about. So we're going to go out and show you the gravity wagon that we took the running gear from, and how it works and why we did what we did. And I'll give you a little quick snapshot of the shade structure and how it's working. All right, guys, thanks. All right, here is the gravity wagon. This is a 350 bushel split bin gravity wagon. The only thing we are going to use on this was the running gear for the shade structure. This is not the same one. This is one that's very similar. I bought two of these units so I could turn one into a mobile shade and one into a mobile hay feeder. So that's another video, but this one we're gonna take off the same gravity bin, use this running gear and the bottom frame, and make a mobile hay feeder for the cattle for the winter time. But this is what it looked like whenever we got started. Essentially, the two gravity wagons were almost twins, very similar in structure, very similar in size and setup. So I kind of want to show you what it looked like before we got started. All right, guys, here is the running gear from the grain cart that I was showing you earlier, the gravity wagon. 10-ton axles, big heavy axles. I guess that's in part why I got such a big gravity bin, because I wanted something that was super heavy, that would withstand the wind. Because essentially what we're building here is it's going to be a sail, essentially a sail on wheels. The top is going to be 16 by 20, so it's a large sail, and we wanted to have a good heavy stock underneath of it so it doesn't blow over as easy, if it will. Anyway, I bought 4x4 steel quarter wall tubing. I welded that to the frame, and then I stuck treated 4x4s in there. I just kind of planed down two edges on that 4x4 so it fit in that tubing really well. But that's how I transitioned from steel to wood. So you can see there, threw a little weld on it, and we're off to the races now. So I drilled in the top of these 4x for pins. I'm going to pin all this together. So that's an 1.25 inch pin. Then I'm going to drill this sleeve into the 2x8, and that'll be the joist going across. So as it's going through the field, the roof can essentially float on this pin right here. And so this is where we're at, and I'll give you some updates as we go along and try to show you what we got going here. All right, here it is, guys. Completed mobile shade structure. It's 16 feet wide, 20 feet long. The roof construction is all 2x4 on 2-foot centers, except for the ends in the middle. I double that up. The trusses here are 2x8s by 20 feet long. I bored the truss big, put a metal sleeve in it, and then I drilled these 4x4 posts and put a pin in there. So as we're going through the field, and this thing is flopping all around, the roof can float there, and it can float here. So no matter what, whenever this front axle articulates left to right, that roof won't get in a bind. Or if it does get in a bind, it won't be nearly as much as if these trusses were just screwed to these 4x. As you can see, everything is hurricane tied together. There's Ayla in the background. Say hi, Ayla. Hi. Everything is hurricane tied together, 4 places on each stud. Here's another shot of the floating roof structure there. I put these little pieces of plywood on here for there's a lot of bracing that goes underneath. That's underneath this plywood. I didn't want the cattle to be able to stick their legs in there, so we covered all that up, and I think it'll serve an additional purpose. The dogs will be able to jump up there underneath the shade, and they kind of like climbing on things, so maybe it'll work. My inclination is the cows will probably just rip this thing off, and I'll have to find some expanded metal or something to put on there that's going to end up to cattle. One thing, if we ever do worry about weight, because it kind of is a sail, if you will, we could always fill these tires up with liquid to add a little bit more weight to it. I don't really see it being too big of a problem and catching too much wind because it's a flat roof. It is kind of big, but those are big, heavy 10,000 pound axles, so I think it'll be really good. They recommend 20 square feet per cow for enough shade. Right here it's 16 by 20, so it's 320 square foot divided by 20 feet per cow. We'll be able to give shade to 16 cow equivalents is what that boils down to. All right guys, here's a cattle shade that we had built. I'll tell you one thing that I learned from building this for sure is that it could have been quite a bit bigger. The overall dimensions, like I said, are 16 by 20. You could have easily went 16 by 30. You could have probably did 18 by 30, maybe even 18 by 35. With this structure, I do like the 2x4 roof, the 2x8 trusses. But if I was going to go bigger, I would certainly do 2x6s and 2x10s for the trusses and the roof. But it's certainly doable. We haven't seen any shaking around or moving around from winds. High winds, does not matter. And one thing I can tell you, they like it a lot. So if they're under this thing for any period of time, they do cause quite a bit of damage to the ground that it's on. So it's imperative that it be moved every single day if this is their only option for shade, because they're gonna just really hang out under there a lot throughout the day and drop a lot of organic matter, which is good. You can move this thing around to busted up parts of your farm, any kind of hard pan area. You can move it around to a real highly concentrated area of weeds. They're gonna stomp it all down, eat it, whatever. They certainly do like it. This is Big Mama here. What do you say, girl? What do you say, girl? You know you got good cattle when you can walk up and scratch your head like that. So anyway guys, this is the shade structure. We like it a whole lot. Very easy to pull with a four-wheeler. I got my assistant on our way out here to show us how easy it is to move. So that's what we're doing now, setting up to move the cattle to their next spot over there. Look at all that Johnson grass. That's gonna be a good day of forage for the cattle. All right. Okay guys, we're gonna go ahead and move this cattle shade, show you how easy it is to do. There it is. All right guys, here they come. Following the shade, just loving life. Look at them tearing into that Johnson grass back there. Life is good.